Across social media and several geopolitical commentary channels, a dramatic narrative has been circulating about a supposed massive American bombardment of Iran's Kharg Island, an island frequently described as the strategic heart of Iran's oil export system in the Persian Gulf. According to these viral videos, what happened on that night was nothing less than one of the most powerful air operations in modern military history. The story begins with claims that long-range American bombers appeared suddenly over the Gulf in the early hours of the morning, launching waves of precision bunker-buster bombs designed to destroy deeply buried military infrastructure beneath the island. The narration in those videos paints an intense cinematic picture. Stealth bombers cutting silently through the night sky, massive explosions tearing through reinforced concrete tunnels, and dozens of Iranian military installations collapsing in a matter of hours. Some versions of the story even claim that radar systems, missile depots, naval mines, and command centers were wiped out almost instantly, leaving Iran's naval forces in the Persian Gulf effectively blinded and powerless overnight. It is a story told with dramatic certainty, powerful music, and confident narration. But when analysts and researchers step back from the spectacle and begin examining these claims carefully, a very different picture starts to appear. In the modern world, large-scale military operations rarely remain hidden for long. Satellites constantly monitor sensitive regions. Commercial imagery companies capture high-resolution pictures of strategic sites, and international media organizations track developments in the Persian Gulf almost around the clock. If dozens of military facilities had truly been destroyed in a massive overnight bombing campaign, the evidence would normally appear very quickly. Satellite images would reveal widespread destruction. Multiple independent sources would confirm the damage. And perhaps most importantly, global energy markets would react immediately to the disruption of such a strategically critical location. Yet so far, no widely verified satellite imagery has shown catastrophic destruction across Kharg Island on the scale described in those viral narratives. There has been no clear independent confirmation that entire tunnel networks collapsed, or that Iran's naval infrastructure on the island was completely eliminated. That absence of verification does not necessarily mean that nothing happened in the region, because tensions in the Persian Gulf have remained high for years. But it does mean that some of the most dramatic claims circulating online should be approached with caution. To understand why Kharg Island attracts so much attention in the first place, it is important to look at its real strategic importance. Located off the southern coast of Iran, Kharg Island has long served as the primary export hub for Iranian crude oil. For decades, a significant portion of Iran's oil exports has passed through this island, making it one of the most economically critical pieces of infrastructure in the country. Enormous storage tanks dominate the island's landscape, pipelines connect inland oil fields to export terminals, and massive tankers regularly dock at the island's facilities to transport crude oil to international markets. Countries across Asia depend heavily on energy shipments passing through the Persian Gulf, which means the stability of locations like Kharg Island matters far beyond Iran itself. Any confirmed attack that severely damaged the island's infrastructure would almost certainly send shockwaves through global energy markets. Oil prices could surge within hours. Shipping insurance costs in the Gulf could rise dramatically. Governments around the world would begin assessing the potential impact on energy supply chains. This is why energy traders and analysts closely monitor developments around Kharg Island and the surrounding waters of the Persian Gulf. Interestingly, despite the dramatic claims circulating in viral videos, global oil markets have not reacted with the kind of sudden shock that would normally follow the destruction of a major export hub. That alone raises important questions about the scale of damage being described. Many of the videos also claim that the alleged bombing operation destroyed radar networks, missile batteries, and naval mine depots supposedly used by Iran to threaten shipping in the Gulf. According to the viral narrative, these facilities were eliminated so quickly and efficiently that Iran's ability to disrupt maritime traffic near the Strait of Hormuz disappeared almost overnight. But military experts often point out that naval power rarely depends on a single island or base. Modern defense systems are typically spread across multiple locations, including coastal bases, mobile missile platforms, naval vessels, and air defense networks positioned across a wide geographic area. Even if certain installations were damaged in a localized strike, that does not automatically mean an entire naval strategy has collapsed. Claims that a single operation completely eliminated Iran's ability to influence maritime traffic in the Persian Gulf, therefore require careful verification before they can be accepted as fact. Another factor that strengthens the viral narrative is the powerful imagery used in these videos. Footage of bombers taking off, explosions lighting up the night sky, and military equipment firing missiles creates an intense visual atmosphere that makes the story feel immediate and undeniable. But investigators who study conflict footage know that visuals alone do not always prove what they appear to show. In many cases, dramatic footage may be reused from other military exercises, previous conflicts, or unrelated events. This is why journalists and open-source intelligence researchers rely heavily on geolocation, satellite analysis, and cross-referencing multiple sources before confirming that a video actually depicts the event it claims to show. Without that verification process, it becomes very difficult to separate real documentation from illustrative imagery used to strengthen a narrative. Looking at the broader geopolitical environment also helps explain why analysts remain cautious about accepting the most extreme claims surrounding Kharg Island. The Persian Gulf is one of the most strategically sensitive waterways on the planet. Just a short distance from the island lies the Strait of Hormuz, a narrow maritime corridor through which nearly 1/5 of the world's oil supply travels every single day. Tankers carrying crude oil and natural gas from the Middle East pass through this route on their way to major economies in Asia and Europe. Any serious disruption in this region could have immediate global consequences, affecting everything from fuel prices to international shipping costs. Because of this, military planners on all sides understand that attacks on critical energy infrastructure carry enormous economic and political risks. Escalation in the Persian Gulf could easily spread beyond local military targets and begin affecting global trade routes. Kharg Island itself has experienced attacks before. During the Iran-Iraq War in the 1980s, Iraqi forces repeatedly targeted the island in an attempt to disrupt Iran's oil exports. Storage tanks were damaged, infrastructure required repeated repairs, and the island became one of the most contested energy locations of that war. Yet despite those attacks, the island continued operating because its importance to Iran's economy was simply too great to abandon. That experience pushed Iran to strengthen defenses around the island in the decades that followed, reinforcing facilities and tightening security in order to protect one of the country's most vital economic assets. Today, Kharg Island remains a central hub in the Persian Gulf energy network. Its export terminals connect Iranian oil fields to international markets, and its infrastructure supports the movement of millions of barrels of crude every day. Because of that role, the island continues to attract intense attention from analysts, governments, and media outlets whenever tensions rise in the region. What the viral narrative surrounding this alleged bombardment ultimately demonstrates is not only the strategic importance of Kharg Island, but also the growing influence of information warfare in the modern era. Conflicts today are not fought solely with aircraft, missiles, and naval fleets. They are also fought with narratives that spread rapidly through social media and online platforms. Dramatic videos can travel around the world within minutes, shaping public perception long before detailed verification becomes available. High-quality graphics, confident narration, and carefully selected imagery can make a story feel authoritative even when key details remain uncertain or exaggerated. This is why analysts emphasize the importance of evidence when evaluating claims about major geopolitical events. Satellite imagery, independent reporting, and confirmation from multiple sources are essential before dramatic conclusions can be accepted as fact. Kharg Island remains one of the most strategically significant locations in the Persian Gulf and continues to play a crucial role in the global energy system. But as this viral story illustrates, the most powerful battles in the modern world are sometimes fought not only on land, sea, or air, but also in the information space, where narratives spread faster than facts, and where understanding the real situation requires looking beyond the most sensational claim.